So Halloween is over and it's November 1st, and you know what that means. No, not November. Well, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. This holiday, this trend, whatever it is, I think it needs to die, you know? It's around Dia de los Muertos. It's the perfect time to end this damn trend. And I'm here to tell you today how freaking No Nut November almost killed me. Now you might be thinking that I'm pulling your leg and being a little dramatic, but I'm serious, ladies and gentlemen, because some of you, if you remember correctly, or if you've been on this channel for a while, you might have seen a video I did a long time ago where I talked about having a mental breakdown. I kind of reframe it now and say it was more of a stressful breakdown, but a breakdown nonetheless. It was pretty crazy. Now I'm gonna try to not tell the whole story again, because you can go watch that video if you want to, because I know a lot of people didn't. But I do want to talk about how it did involve No Nut November, because, you know, unfortunately, you know, you'll probably start seeing a lot of people being like, I did No Nut November and this is what happened, because that's what YouTube has you do nowadays to have successful content. And it sucks because you can't just do one thing anymore. Like, you can't just do No Nut November. No, it's like, I did No Nut November while also running 20,000 miles and jumping out of a plane. Like, that's kind of what you have to do to stand out on YouTube. So that's what I started doing last year when I had this mental breakdown. I started doing No Nut November, so no explicit content, no relieving yourself, no pleasure whatsoever. But I decided to take that even a step further, because you can't just do one thing. I also decided, hey, why don't we get rid of fast food from our diet? Why don't we do no fast food either? And I can't remember the third thing, but I feel like I was gonna do 3 things because it's just a nice round number. And I also, I think it was no video games, which is another crazy thing that I often do a lot to just kind of escape from the everyday, you know, stresses of life. And fast food is just so easy for me to eat because it is in the name, you know, it's just fast food, go get it, and I can continue working and doing everything. So, you know, if you're smart, you might be already catching on why this was probably an issue to start with. But I didn't think that at the time. I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, I cannot play video games for a month. I could not freaking look at spicy content, and I cannot eat fast food for a month. It's only 30 days. And that's exactly what I thought for about like the first week and a half. Everything was gravy. It was easy. It was super doable. Like, I had no problem. Like, I saw myself easily changing the habits of my life, and things were improving. I was like, oh man, I have so much more time to do this, and like, oh, I feel better. Like, I feel healthier and everything. Which, again, all positive things, by the way. I'm not trying to shit on taking, you know, destructive things out of your life if they are destructive to you. But that's kind of how I felt for the first week. But one thing I want to point out is, you know, as I mentioned earlier, I took all these things out, things that I get pleasure out of, and nothing else changed in my life. At the time, some of you might remember because you subscribed to this channel for that, there was this little thing going on with MrBeast, and that was kind of already dying down, and I was working on my next big project, which was going to be this Logan Paul video, and trying to maintain my unbiased approach going into this video. I was gathering a bunch of information that was factual and all this kind of stuff, and trying to find sources to back it up and everything. And while doing that, a lot of people don't know, if you try to be unbiased in today's world, or just even try to provide facts, it's pretty stressful. Just gonna throw that out there, because if you know, say something about somebody that somebody likes, they're gonna get their feelings hurt, and they're gonna be like, I hate you, they're my favorite, blah, 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 you're dumb. And same thing for the other way. If I were to defend somebody that somebody else doesn't like, they're gonna be like, oh, you're so stupid, nobody should defend them because blah, blah. That's just unfortunately the state of the internet, and nobody can just be in the middle anymore. It's like everybody has to pick a side, and it's like, hey, you know that we can, you know, think both sides suck, right? Like, that's a fair thing that we can all do. For whatever reason, a lot of people don't like to do that. So that was going on. That was going on during the month of November. And I probably mentioned it really heavily in that video, but I caught myself getting extremely stressed out during November. So much to the point that I went and got a massage. And I hadn't done that in a really long time. Like, it had been a really long time since I got a massage. And I was like, okay, it was good. And it worked for a few days until it didn't. And I don't know, I don't want to go into crazy too detail about it, but I remember getting so stressed out to the point where, like, I could barely move my neck. Like, it was like my back of my neck to my shoulders was just like, ugh. And I was just like, dude. And it was getting to the point where my eyes were feeling so, it was like somebody was pushing on the back of my eyeballs. Like, the stress was insane. And I was in therapy at the time too. Like, it wasn't one of these things where it's like, oh, you should go talk to your therapist. Now, maybe my therapist wasn't the best at the time because she was just telling me, you should go get a massage. You should go do this. Instead of like really like getting to the heart and soul of my issues, which was I was fucking doing too much, which is what I figured out later in, you know, a new therapist after. You know, that was kind of, I didn't realize what I was doing. And you know, the dumb thing about it that I realized in, you know, hindsight, as they would say, was I took out all the little pleasures of my life, aka No Nut November. This stupid video that I was doing, I took away one of the things that gives me stress relief, but because I have to be in this YouTube sphere of like, I gotta do bigger, better, crazier things, I also took out two other things that easily give me small pleasures, which was fast food, because hey, look, you might hate it, it is definitely unhealthy, but some of that shit is tasty, you know what I mean? And then video games, which again, I don't know if video games was officially the thing I did, but I feel like it probably was. And video games is just another thing that I do to de-stress. And yeah, like, you know, so imagine I take away 3 things that help me get through the normal craziness of life, and it was stupid. And like, it was all based off of trying to do this trend. It was, you know, like, oh yeah, because everybody talks about all the amazing stuff that happens. You freaking go to a new level. You become Super Saiyan. You do all this kind of shit when you don't freaking bust. It's just like, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I think if you are somebody that has their life consumed by anything, it doesn't have to be porn, it could be alcohol, it can be drugs, whatever. If you have your life consumed by that, then yes, you should try to do these kind of things, but at the same time, you should probably talk to a professional to really get you some help if it is taking that much of your life. Like, if you cannot do anything, if you cannot function any way without, like, you know, partaking in something, then you probably need some actual professional help. That has never been, like, none of these things, video games aside, because video games have definitely kept me from doing work, especially when it's a fire game like Red Dead Redemption or GTA 5. Those things have definitely, that would be the closest I've ever been to addiction, would be video games. But for the most part, like, you know, porn or anything else, fast food, I've been able to, like, easily keep those in moderation, keep them in control, and they have never gotten in the way of work ever at all. And so it's never been a big issue with me when I've heard people talk about the positivities of No Nut November and all that jazz. And you know, now I just have an extreme negative connotation with the month because it literally forced on one of the worst experiences of my life was with this stressful breakdown. Like, I ended up like breaking down in tears because of how stressed out I was. And so yeah, this was just kind of my little video. I'm not trying to make this like super long. Again, if you want to go through the whole craziness of what I felt, go watch that one video I did back in November, or maybe it was December, when I had a mental breakdown. And I don't know what I'm titled it nowadays because I had to keep switching titles for YouTube, but that was the real raw moment, because I think I recorded that like a few days after, and I didn't edit it for like a month. So if you want to see how I really felt, go watch that video. But I did kind of, you know, I know I'm going to start seeing all these No Nut November posts, and like, you know, all the OnlyFans models are going to be like, did I break your No Nut November streak? You know, all that kind of crap. And I just wanted to be the person that says like, don't do this shit. All right, if you feel like you have a problem, hey, go ahead and take a break for a little bit or whatever. But doing the whole month, and like, especially if you're trying to make videos out of it like I was, don't do it. Not worth it. Like, it's so stupid. And yeah, it also is, I think there's science behind it that doing these small, like, what do they call them, detoxes, are actually not great. Like, because you automatically just go back into it. And that's a joke, right? That's a joke December 1st. Everybody's like, oh, wow, you know, the fucking Stan's dad meme from South Park. Like, that's what everybody's posting on December 1st. So what's the point? Like, oh, look, I got lasted 30 days. Okay, cool. And then you just went back into the same cycle. So, you know, you shouldn't use a month. Just kind of like all the people that are like, it's January 1st, new body, new me, or new year, new me kind of crap. New body is what they want usually. You can start a new thing at any time. And same thing, you can stop something at any time. You don't need a month, you don't need a week, you don't need a birthday or a new year or anything. Just do it. If you really want to make life changes, don't wait for a month. Like, just do your own thing, because, you know, the only way things are ever going to change in your life is you make a lifestyle change. You can't do trends, you can't do detoxes, because they don't work. I'm pretty sure the science is there behind that. I could be wrong. But anyways, I don't want this video to be too long. I just wanted to come in here, be your freaking advice guru, the man that's trying to live through things, that has some wisdom to kind of share to maybe the younger audience out there, or the older audience. I don't really care. Anybody that gets some value from this video. But yeah, No Nut November, not a fan of it. Stupid. Don't do it. It's dumb. Also, why would you deprive yourself of boobies? They're the greatest thing on this planet. But anyways, guys, that's the video for today. See ya.